Think you know bat and ball? Play the first ever social cricket trading game on Cricket8. You can play for free, acquire virtual coins, and jump right in. In Trader, you can strategically risk coins on live cricket matches across dozens of markets. Sign up now. Don't just watch the game, play the game. Welcome to the Cricket8 Podcast. We're back in the cave with the Bishop, Rob Barron, and his altar boy, Jarrod Kimber. That ended up being a far more entertaining game than we thought it was going to be at one point. Gujarat pushed them very hard, and good on Gujarat for making such a big total, Rob, considering that Gill was out early and Butler wasn't playing. Not good Gujarat, considering that they have been dominating the comp all year. They've gone out in the first round of the playoffs. They dropped a bunch of catches and had a bunch of full tosses they should hit for 4s and 6.
Yeah, so actually, if you wind back the season, Gujarat had it there for the taking because they should have finished top 2 and they buggered about in the last 2 games. They needed to win one of them and they played like they only needed to win one of them. And they're like, oh, someone else will do it. It's fine. And they actually forgot to win either of the games and they didn't help themselves by doing stupid things with captaincy and bowling changes and getting the order wrong and all that sort of stuff. And then they ended up coming into this off the back of 2 losses. And they had the game there for the taking, and they set the tone in the first over of the game by doing 2 missed fields. And then Gill got a good one from Bolt. That can happen to anybody. But I think where they lost the game, Jarrod, despite all the nonsense and the drop catches and the missed fields and the clownery, was Sadhasan doing what he always does, scoring boatloads of runs. But when you really need him, when he's the guy holding the chase together, he allowed his own strike rate to only go to 160. And when you
reckon, was he 60 or 30?
Something like that.
And he ended up with 80 or 49.
He slowed right down, which is, we said on air that the one criticism that we've got of the guy is he can't motor. His 5th gear is not good enough to reel in 13 and over. So what he did is he got it down to needing 11, 12 and over, and then back up to 14, 15. And by the time he'd had a couple of bad overs and ended up getting cleaned up by Gleeson, not by Bumrah, he then meant that Twatia and Sharuk and everybody else had to score at more than 2 a ball from ball 1. Too difficult.
It's actually a really interesting scorecard when you have a look at it because Sudarshan and Rohit both make 80 off 50, right? And you then have Bairstow making 47 off 22 and Washington was 48 off 24. Like,
cancelled.
Those guys have cancelled each other out. They just didn't get enough out of everyone else. And if you go back to the Hardik innings when he got there was Tilak Varma got 25 off 11, and then Hardik Pandya got 22 off 9.
There you go.
And it was right at the end for Hardik, wasn't it? Was it the Kotia over at the end?
It's 47 off, what was that? 47 off 20, 47 off 20 for 1 with 6 sixes. That's what those 2 did. And they have very clear roles, but there were bits in that game where it got hard to score at around the sort of 15 over mark when it started tailing. You said the air went out of the ball, and I think that was a good shout. And they both slowed down in that phase. But, I mean, let's be honest, Gujarat don't have Bumrah. But what good?
Well, you have a look here at the 14 over mark, 15 over mark. The scores are basically exactly the same for both teams. 150 plays 152, then 160 plays 161. And then Bumrah comes back on, and when he bowls his overs, that's when they go back in front, right? And then you don't get the 22 runs off the last over, but that's always going to be harder in a chase than it is in the first innings as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Gujarat shot themselves in the foot repeatedly. And
it's a very disappointing season now.
A lot of it comes down to the fact that those last 2 games after the break, they came back and they were basically playing as if they were already in. And they were like, well, actually, you've got to win one of them. You can't just rely on all the other results to fall exactly how you want. You have to do something yourselves. And they didn't do anything. So eventually they got what they did. Also, when you base a lot of your franchise around one guy, which is Rashid Khan, they've got 2 amazing openers, Josh Butler, Rashid Khan. Butler went home for the playoffs. Rashid Khan didn't do anything the whole season long. The whole season. He played well once against Mumbai and got 1 for 21, but he didn't win them a match. He didn't get man of the match once. And how many times does he go through a 15-match season without winning them a game?
I would say this is one of his better bowling performances as well.
Yeah, it was. None for though.
Yeah, none for 31 off his 4 overs. And that was another issue. They didn't really have anyone else to go with him at all. And then if you go through the Mumbai bowling, You've got Bumrah went 1 for 27 off his 4, and then Ashwani came in, and Ashwani is a huge. When Ashwani came on, we were all like, this next over could go for 15 or 16. At that stage, we were both on Gujarat, and we were very excited by Ashwani coming on. He bowled his first 2 overs for 20, and then what did he go for? And then his next 9 balls went for another 8 balls, 8 runs.
Yeah,
that's a great effort. And there were some bad balls that should have been hit by Gujarat. Not as many when he was bowling.
No, I thought he was excellent and surprisingly so, because I definitely wrote him off after he was impact sub in the last game and got whacked for 16 off 1 over, and everyone was saying, why on earth did he even bowl? And today when he came back, everybody was saying the same thing. They're like, we don't need him. We've got Santner that can bowl. Santner only bowled 1 over, got a wicket, but they saw, didn't they? We said at the time that wasn't actually that good an over. The wicket he got was Mendes fell over.
Yeah.
And he didn't bowl him.
It's worth mentioning that Kusal Mendes did actually kick down his own stumps today, and not a little bit. I do mean kick down his own stumps, because it wasn't like he flicked them. It wasn't like Shane Warne, going back on his studs. We are talking about a legitimate. We thought he'd hit him with his bat. They went down so hard. That was very funny. Let's just go back to the start of the game, though. Their strength has been probably Prashi Krishna. They went to him early, and he should have got the wicket, and they should have got a wicket, and they should have got a wicket. There was a misfield that went up on the offside, and Shubman Gill just went in the wrong direction, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There was the catch from Jarrod Kotsia that went very high, but straight to him, and he dropped it. And then the wicketkeeper dropped two catches.
One of
the
them,
first game in the tournament.
One of them very, very easy. But how many times do we say in all cricket matches, it's quite often you can almost take out, like you saw today when you're just comparing the scorecards all the way through, they're about the same, players scoring about the same, making the same sort of contributions. It often just boils down to who doesn't feel crap, and they win. And one of the teams fielded crap today and the other one didn't. And at one point it was 50-50 the game, right? And the crap fielding team fielded crap and they lost.
Yeah.
And that's that.
We kept putting money on because we just assumed they would have been.
Think you know bat and ball? Play the first ever social cricket trading game on Cricket8. You can play for free, acquire virtual coins, and jump right in. In Trader, you can strategically risk coins on live cricket matches across dozens of markets. Sign up now. Don't just watch the game, play the game. Think you know more about cricket than your friends? Prove it with Quickfire, only at Cricket8. Answer trivia questions every day. Score more than your mates and win free coins. Fast questions, faster answers, one winner. Don't just watch the game, play the game. You can watch the game, but what if you could do more? Cricket8 is the new way to enjoy cricket. Now you can watch your favourite sport while playing against your mates. Think someone is going to score more than 10 in the next over and your friends don't? Play against them. Cricket8 is the future of watching your favourite sport. Don't just watch the game, play the game at cricket8.com.
Test. All right, let's see if we're back. Oh my God. Apologies, everyone. We're not sure exactly what is going on here. Rakshit, if you hear us not have any sound, just play the ads and then give us a call because it's much easier for us. What were we actually talking about when all the microphones went to shit?
We were talking about how fielding cost them the game. And
how did fielding cost them the game, Rob?
Well, they kept dropping really easy catches. That didn't help, but they set the tone for themselves in the first over when they did 2 rubbish misfields. And even though the first over only went for 6, which is a win for the bowling team in this IPL, the fact that they scored 4 of those runs from fielders diving in the wrong direction set the tone for the innings. And by about 10 overs in, when they dropped 2 complete dollies, half of them were teapots, hands on hips. Loads of them were looking at the floor. They were griping at each other. And then when I think it was Prasid didn't go for a catch that he absolutely could have taken, and then Curtsey had a catch dropped off him, they're all like staring at each other going, well, what are you blaming me for? You drop one of me, I drop one of you. And we've all played in crap cricket games where that's happened. It shouldn't be happening in a knockout game in the IPL.
No, and I think it's also worth noting that if you played that game back over the first 10 overs, probably more often than not, Mumbai would have actually lost 2 or 3 wickets early on.
Absolutely.
And so you can understand the frustration would have been if you're the bowling team in that situation going, okay, they can score runs and they can hit lots of boundaries, but there's actually plenty of things that you can do here. The ball was doing a little bit. They were creating chances. So you can see why they were so frustrated. But if you look at the whole game, I would say that they created chances all the way through. They just didn't take them. So we're talking about Sudarshan's innings. We're talking about the full tosses they didn't capitalize on. This is a team this year who has taken wickets when they've needed to take them. They have managed to always score even when they're not losing wickets. And what have they done? Put away the bad balls. Today, those are the 3 things that dropped off for them. We could have a go at them for not getting the second chance, and that's why they're going home. But realistically, I think this comes back before them.
Totally agree. They are so good, Gill and Sudarshan particularly, at scoring off bad balls. And that's an underrated skill in a game of cricket, is being able to capitalise on all the chances that you get. And they were given loads of chances, and they didn't bother taking them today. And they're going out not because they were outplayed, because they didn't play well enough themselves. And I don't know whose fault that is. Some of their bigger players went missing a bit today, I thought, like Gill did. I don't think Gill captained very well again. At no point did Gill put his arm around the bowler today. At no point did he slow it down. At no point did he go up to a field and say, never mind.
Do you think Sky was injured today? Or do you think that Sky pulled the Rishabh Pant of the momentum's on their side? Can we just stop this for a minute?
So Mahela was trying to get something across, wasn't he, when they were under it? He was very, very animated on the sideline. Do you think it's the Jonathan Trott, Gulbuddin naive?
You know what I mean? I'm just...
I get it. I hadn't considered that myself. But there was some lying down. And basically, if Sky's lying down, who cares when you're fielding? Put someone else on. And they were like, well, let's have a couple of minutes. And at times, older hands, people that have been around the block, know when the time is to just take a step back from the game and just go actually, because it's a knockout game, right? This is a much bigger game than anything else. And Gujarat buggered it up basically from start to finish. They still scored 200 odd, but they conceded 30 more than they should have done, which meant they were one of the worst teams in IPL history at chasing much above par totals, aren't they?
Yeah,
because they're not set up to do that. So they set themselves up to have to do that. Lost Gill early. Were in a really good position, but they threw it away too many times today. They got plenty of chances, they didn't take it.
Punjab, you've done the maths. I don't think we've got the actual odds up at the moment, but you've done the maths, and according to that, you've got Punjab at about 2.6 in the next game, which means that again Mumbai are starting as massive favourites.
Yeah, so RCB's price jumped from 2.08 yesterday. Now Mumbai have won to 2.2, right? Which says fair enough. It says Mumbai are a stronger team, they're through, so they're less likely to get it. But that tells me that they would have been Punjab would have been about 2.1 to beat RCB. That stands up. So therefore, to get to 5.45, whatever they are, it makes them about 2.6 to beat Mumbas, which we know is too big. I did all the numbers today when I was on the train coming down here, and they match up so well, like so evenly, Mumbai and Punjab on all metrics.
Arshdeep bowling to Rohit and Bairstow.
So you've got Arshdeep nailing in at Bairstow stumped early and Dozy Wyatt. And then you've got it's a miracle that he scored 20 runs today. He should have been out at least twice, probably 3 times before he got there. They match up brilliantly well, those two teams. And I didn't have much between them at all. So I'm already on 2.6 if that's where it's going to be. But they're all metrics, first over, first six, sixes, fours.
Yeah.
They match up great because you've got Bolt against Arshdeep, you've got Rohit against Arya, and perhaps Imran against Bairstow. They're all quite, they match up really well all day. You've got Sky against Shreyas. Do you know what I mean? There's loads of. I don't have Mumbai as way better. Do you?
No, not at all.
Punjab have been really good.
I didn't have Mumbai as better than Gujarat today, and I still ended up with a slight loss somehow off the back of that, but I gave it a good go. Rob will be back on Sunday. I'll be back on Tuesday. There'll be plenty of more stuff here on Cricket 8. The trading game. Please go and play the trading game. A lot of people have reached out, I know, on my Discord channel, and people have started to cotton on recently to Cricket 8. The best way to support us is to go to cricket8.com, register yourself. If you don't want to do the trading game, play the trivia game, right? I think me and Rob have showed it's pretty easy to get some correct answers there. You've also, you spin the wheel, you can get yourself some coins. And then lastly, I would say that the other most important thing there is that the trading game, not the trading game, what is it? The Squares game.
Squares is going to be here soon.
We are hearing is very, very close. This is the Bishop Rob Barron. I am the Jarrod Kimber. We'll see you again on Cricket 8, hopefully with working microphones.
Think fast. It's cricket, but it's all in your head. Quickfire is Cricket 8's brand new trivia game. Coins power every game on Cricket 8, and Quickfire is the easiest way to get them. Play for free every day and build your balance. Can you keep up when the pressure's on? Every second counts. Every answer matters. Don't just watch the game, play the game.